Come along as I make this mold to create these tires for an upcoming tugboat model build with blue stuff mold making. Here's the blue stuff in its original package and my masters. You start by cutting the blue stuff up and putting it in boiling water. You then fish it out and mold it with your fingers until it becomes a seamless mass to make you the first part of your master. Here I'm putting the masters about halfway deep in the mold material and using a paintbrush to push the mold material up against the side of the master. It looked like it was not really getting close to the edge there. Here I'm making keys, which you need to make in each mold so that they'll match up when you put them together to create your items. So you need to create those little keys. Here's the first part of my mold with the masters in place. Now I'm going to make the second half, which you do basically the same way. You just make another mass of mold material and then place it on top of the other. And then I picked it up off the mat to put a little extra pressure to make sure that it adhered well. Here I am demolding the masters. You can see there was no mold release agent used either on the masters or in between the two pieces of blue stuff. It's unnecessary. Just let the first part cool before you put the second part on top. And here you can see my masters. I've got a little bit of tread detail in there. Doesn't look too bad. I decided to use polymer clay to make my items. This is the cheapest stuff I could find. You can use a drop or two of mineral oil or baby oil to soften it up. I just made some essentially large tires, something much larger than I knew was necessary, and filled the holes on one side of the mold with these really super fat tires. And then it's simply just a matter of positioning the molds together. Here you can see how full I've gotten them. And then you can just position them together and you can see the keys, how those work to kind of make sure everything lines up well. I did step on it a little bit, use a little bit more body weight to really push it together. So these two on this side didn't come out that well, a little bit deformed. Not too happy with those. However, there's two or three really good ones on this side. So while the polymer clay, it's still soft before it gets baked, you can easily cut off the flash while it's still wet in the mold. And then once you scrape off that flash that you've cut free, and then you can just free your master from the mold carefully so as not to deform them. That's one of the disadvantages of using polymer clay. You bake polymer clay at 220 degrees Fahrenheit. 10 to 15 minutes should be more than enough for things as small as this. You just put them on a sheet of aluminum foil, throw them in the oven, and let them cook. There's really no odor. It's not a problem at all to cook them in the home oven. When they're cooled, you can carve the flash off with a knife. It's a really relatively soft material, not as hard as styrene, but it's very workable, very malleable. Here I used a twist drill in my hand to make symmetrical center holes in my tires. It's very easy to do. And then you just use a file to round them off and get a good looking tire. Now here's my finished results. I painted the inside black and dark gray on the outside. They came out okay. They're not perfect. In the future, I think I'll use 2-part epoxy putty and let it dry in the mold.